Okay, guys and gals, we are back. We are in assignment number 6 for Julius Caesar. Specifically, we are going to be continuing scene 1. We left off in the middle of scene 1 yesterday. If you will recall, in scene 1, the conspirators, and we have them all now, well, all of them so far. We have our CCC, Cats Can't Chew, Bacon during the movie, right? Cats, Cinna. I'm sorry, let's do Cats, Cassius, Can't, Cinna, Chew, Casca, Bacon, Brutus, during Decius, the Trebonius, and movie Metellus. Cats can't chew bacon during the movie. I'll write that on the board in school. It'll make it easier for you. But if you jot those initials down, CCC, B, DTM, cats can't chew bacon during the movie. That's a mnemonic device which will help you to remember. If you have those initials, CCC, B, DTM, you can go, oh, Cassius, Casca, Cinna, Brutus, Decius, Trebonius, Metellus, because you have those initials to start. So we have our conspirators, right? So they get there. And they're asking Brutus, is he involved? And he says he is involved. He is going to join them. And he says, let's shake all your hands. And Cassius says, well, let's make a swear, and a resolution that will all go to the end. And Brutus says, no, we need to swear a resolution. That's only if you're doing something evil. If you're doing something right, you'll go to the end because it's the right thing to do. So we don't need an oath. So they say, okay, we won't do an oath. And then they say, what about Cicero? Let's get Cicero. We need Cicero. And Brutus says, nah, I don't like Cicero. He doesn't finish the stuff he starts. And they're like, Cicero's out of here. He's the worst. We never wanted him anyway. It's indicative of the fact that they have to have Brutus in the plan, right? Because if they don't have Brutus, they can't get close to Caesar. If they don't have Brutus and they kill Caesar, the crowd is going to kill them because they'll be like, dude, you killed Caesar. He's the man. You killed Caesar and Brutus was involved? Well, then I guess it must have been for the good of Rome, so we won't kill you. So they have to have Brutus involved. So because of that, they're going to allow Brutus to continue to make these decisions, which are mistakes, which is right where we left off. Cassius said, should we also kill Trebonius said, shouldn't we kill somebody else, or are we just going to kill Caesar? And Cassius says, I think we should kill Antony. He's smart. He's a great warrior. He loves Caesar, and he's got a lot of power. I think he'll come after us. I think he'll come for us. So let's kill him. Let's do it. Let's kill him before he comes after us or revenges Caesar. And Brutus, this is where we pick up. This is line 175 of Act 2, Scene 1. Brutus says, well, then our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs like wrath and death and envy afterwards, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. All right, so he just said, there's no need to kill him for 2 reasons. One, it'll make us look like we're butchers, and we don't want to look like that. We want to show the people that we're doing the right thing, not that we're evil and love killing people. That will look bad. And he says another thing is, once we kill Caesar, Antony's not going to have any real power anymore. He's Caesar's right hand, and when you kill the body, the hand dies. Now, considering we're talking metaphorically here, it doesn't work that way. Listen, let's be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we would then come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar, but alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. So he's saying when we kill him, we can't, we don't want to like chop them up and leave them bloody all over the street like a bunch of dogs just killed them, because that'll make us look bad. We have to kill them with some kind of, I don't know, respect. I mean, can you kill somebody respectfully? It's kind of stupid to say, but that's what he's saying. And he does have a good point, actually, because how you kill somebody dictates how people look at you and the thing that you did, right? I mean, if somebody's attacking you and you stab them once to get away from them, that's one thing. But if somebody's attacking you and you come back and stab them 150 times, what does it show? It shows that, you weren't just defending yourself, but you were actually going after that person in a form of revenge or anger. So he's saying we shouldn't do this to Caesar. And if we kill Antony, it will look like we're doing that. Listen. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage and after seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called perjurers and not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off. Okay. He's right about one thing. You don't want to kill Caesar in such a way that it looks like you were doing it out of anger rather than for the good of Rome. But the idea that Antony will have no power or anger after you kill Caesar, that's ridiculous. And Cassius says, yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar. And Cassius is like, well, time out, dude. He really loves Caesar. And Brutus says, well, alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar. Don't sweat it. He loves Caesar so much, he'll probably just kill himself after we kill Caesar. And thus, were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company. Plus, he's a big party guy, man. He's just going to go do his thing. No big deal. Trebonius, there's no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. Oh, my God. Trebonius is like, you know what? You're right. Let him live. In fact, he'll laugh about this in years to come. Huh? Remember that time you killed my best friend? That was hilarious. Actually, no. Mark Antony is not going to laugh at this. All right, clock strikes. Peace. Count the clock. Cassius, the clock hath stricken 3. Trebonius, 'tis time to part. Cassius, but it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once of fantasy of dreams and ceremonies. Okay, so they're like, all right, we got to get to the Capitol, so we are there when Caesar shows up. But then Cassius says, you know what? There's no guarantee that Caesar's going to come to work today. He's been a little superstitious lately. And remember, we had the soothsayer said that the other day. So if he doesn't come to work, we're in trouble. And why? By the way, do they have to kill Caesar today? Remember, the senators plan on offering Caesar the crown. Once he is named king, they're never going to get close to him, right? He's going to have all sorts of bodyguards and whatnot around him. They're going to let senators come near him, right? They're just senators. I'm the king. So they've got to kill him before that happens. And if that's going to happen today and Caesar doesn't go to work, maybe they'll go to his house and name him king there, and then it's all over. So they've got to get Caesar to work. Now, how do you get Caesar to work? Remember, Caesar has a lot of pride, right? He's Caesar. So how do you get somebody who has a lot of pride to do something? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You question his masculinity or his pride. What? Are you too afraid to go to work today, Caesar? All right, if you're afraid, I'll tell everybody you're afraid. You know, something bad might happen to poor little Caesar, you know? So they got to manipulate him somehow to get to work. Listen, let's see. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the Capitol today. That's an interesting call. Remember all the crazy things that were happening tonight, the earthquakes, the fire in the sky and whatnot? He just said, it's possible that might keep him from work today, because people might say to him, dude, they might kill you. This is the heavens warning you of this. There's another thing he said, and his augurers. Just so you know, augurers are another form of fortune teller. And in many cases, an augurer would do like animal sacrifices, right? And Caesar had a bunch of these guys working for him. And they would kill a goat or something else, and they would open up the body, and they would look inside, and they would say, ha! This goat is, has this in its stomach. It must mean that. Or, it bled to the right. It must mean that. Guys, it's all crap. I mean, killing an animal isn't going to tell you anything about your life. But they believed this because they were so superstitious. So he said also his augurers might tell him not to show up today. So we better get over there. Decius, never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can oversway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with tools, and men's with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his true humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the Capitol. All right, so Decius steps up. He's like, don't sweat it. I know how to manipulate Caesar to get to work. I will go to his house, and I will get him to work today. And Cassius says, nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him. By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost? Cinna, be that the uttermost, and fail not then. Metellus, Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder why none of you have thought of him. Now, interesting. Metellus goes, why didn't we ask Caius Ligarius to be in this plot? He hates Caesar. So, that's just another person that we could get. What are they going to say about getting this other guy into the plan? Brutus says, now good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I've given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him. And Brutus says, good idea. Go get Caius Ligarius, bring him to me, and I'll get him in our plot. So they're adding another person. So check this out. Before we had cats can't chew bacon during the movie. Well, we're going to add another C into there because now Caius Ligarius is joining the mix. So we're going to say cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie, right? Cassius, Cinna, Casket, Caius. Bacon is Brutus. During Decius, the Trebonius, and movie Metellus. So there we go. Cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie. Let's continue. Cassius, the morning comes upon us. We will leave you, Brutus, and friends disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said and show yourselves true Romans. Brutus, good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our... Now, she's very smart. When we get to Caesar, Brutus says, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes. In other words, you can't look like you're going to go kill this man. You got to be like, Caesar, what's up, my friend? How you doing? But bear it as our Romans do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, everyone. All but Brutus exit. Lucius, asleep? It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleepest so sound. Okay, so he looks down at his servant, and he's like, man, you're sleeping again? Well, you're just a kid, and you've got nothing to worry you. That's why you can sleep so easily. Okay, here comes Portia. This is Brutus's wife. Now, if you're Portia, your husband hasn't been to bed all night long, right? Or if he went, he just tossed and turned and then he left. Another thing, he's been walking around pacing the house all night long. Can you tell if you're a spouse or just somebody who lives in a home with somebody, a family member, when somebody has a real big problem? And the answer is, of course. You know that they're going through some kind of internal struggle, and Portia knows this. Plus, there's another weird thing that happened tonight. Dude, he just had 7 guys. I'm sorry. Cats can't chew during the movie. 6 guys show up at his house in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, wearing hoods and masks. And her husband went downstairs, talked to them, shook all their hands, and then they went their own way. So if you're Portia, you're like, dude, why aren't you sleeping? Probably not eating either. What are you worried about? And who are all these weird dudes that just came to our house? So here we go. Portia, Brutus, my lord. Portia, what means you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health to thus commit your weak condition to the raw and cold morning. And Brutus is like, what are you doing awake? It's 3 a.m. So Portia's response is going to be, yeah, what are you doing awake? In fact, look at her. She says, nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stolen from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. All right, dude, honey, what's wrong? You're not sleeping. You're not eating. You're walking around talking to yourself. And when I asked you what was wrong, you gave me a dirty look. I urged you further, and then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not. But with an angry wafter of your hand, you gave sign to leave you. So I asked you several times, and finally you said, go away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Dude, what's wrong, my love? So I did. Fearing to strengthen the impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometimes has his hour with every man. So she's like, yeah, so I left you alone. Maybe your problem would go away. But it hasn't, honey. In fact, listen. Which sometimes has, all right, it will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it has much prevailed on your condition? I would not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief. She said, dude, you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're not talking to me anymore, and you're different, man. Please tell me what's wrong. I know something really bad is happening in your life, Brutus. Please tell me. And he says, I am not well in health, and that is all. And he says, well, I'm just not feeling good. And she's going to be like, dude, if you didn't feel good, you'd get a doctor. And another thing, if you didn't feel good, you would go where? You would go to bed. Because think about it, ladies and gentlemen, when you feel good, you go to bed, you lay down, you sleep off your sickness. And he's doing neither of these things. Listen, Brutus is wise. And were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it. Why, so do I, good Portia. Go to bed. Portia, is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the deck? Wait a minute, you're telling me you're sick, but you're walking around at 3 a.m. in the dark. What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? Wait, stop. You're sick and you're not getting your sleep? I don't believe you, honey. No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place, I ought to know of. She goes, no, you are not sick in your body. You are sick in your head. Something is bothering you. And I'm your wife, dude. Tell me I can help. She actually kneels. She starts to beg him. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy. And what men tonight have had resort to you? For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness. Okay, so she gets down on her knees and begs him to tell her what is wrong. She begs him. And he says, kneel not, gentle Portia. And he lifts her up. Portia, I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort of limitation to keep with you at your meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is your harlot, not your wife. So she's saying, dude, I'm more than just a person that you can talk to and sleep with and, and be romantic with and cuddle with. Bro, I'm your wife. I am a smart woman and I can help you with your problem. Please tell me. Now, this is interesting. She knows instinctively, and this is why she's begging him this. She knows something is not only seriously wrong with her husband, but it's dangerous for him. If he goes through with this, killing Caesar, he's in big trouble. And by the way, might she be in trouble? Could the people of Rome, if they turn against Brutus and the conspirators, would they go against their families too? And the answer is, heck yeah. This is Rome 44 BC. They will destroy Portia. They will burn her alive if they think she deserves it. That's what the Roman mobs did back then. So Portia's like, dude, you gotta tell me. Brutus, you are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart. So she says, I'm your wife, man. Tell me. And he goes, you really are my wife. I love you. And she says, well, if this were true, then I would know your secret. Now, is he going to tell her this secret? Of course not. He knows she's going to tell him, don't do that, that it's not only evil, but it's wrong, that it's dangerous and stupid. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed. I'm Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Just so you know, I did some research before, and Cato, her father, was I believe he was also a senator and also a warrior. He was a very strong Roman. And she's like, dude, I had that strong Roman father. You wouldn't have married a wimp. You wouldn't have married somebody who couldn't stand up and help you with your problem. Let me help you. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets? Okay, this is kind of nuts. She just took a knife and stabbed herself in her leg. While she's talking to her husband, she goes, dude, I'm tough. Look what I just did. I just stabbed myself. Can I take this pain and not whatever you're going to tell me? So not for nothing. That's kind of crazy. Portia's kind of crazy that she would stab herself to show her husband how tough she is. And the funny thing is, she just stabbed herself and he's going to go, my God, you're so tough. But I'm still not going to tell you. Listen, Brutus, oh, you gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Uh-oh, somebody's at the house again. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of thy heart. So she stabs herself and he goes, oh my God, you're amazing. And he's like, oh, somebody's here. Go inside. I'll tell you later. So he's going to go talk to these men before he talks to his wife. And by thy bosom I shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee. All the character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste. Portia exits. Lucius, who is it that knocks? Enter Lucius and Ligarius. Caius Ligarius. Remember the last dude, the number 7? That he's going to be our crispy guy. Remember, Brutus said, send him to me. I'm going to get him into the plot. Let's hear Brutus get this guy Caius into the plot. And then it will be cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie. Right now, it's just cats can't chew bacon during the movie. Cassius, Casca, Cinna, Decius, Trebonius, Metellus. But we have bacon too, so Brutus is in there as well. Listen, let's go. Lucius, here is a sick man that would speak with you. Brutus, Caius Ligarius, that Metellus spoke of. Boy, stand aside. Lucius exits. Caius Ligarius, how? Ligarius, vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue. Brutus, oh, what a time have you chosen out brave Caius to wear a kerchief? Would you were not sick? All right, this is interesting. Caius comes in wearing a mask, a handkerchief around his face, right? Brutus thinks he's sick because he's wearing the mask, or he's hiding himself from another sickness. And Caius is not sick. He's hiding himself because he's part of the conspiracy, or he's joining the conspiracy. It's another indication. Why hide yourself, Brutus, if it's good? Only if it's bad would somebody hide himself. And Ligarius says, I'm not sick. If Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy of the name of honor. So such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it? By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. He takes off his kerchief. Soul of Rome, brave son derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hath conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them. What's to do? Brutus, a piece of work that will make sick men whole. But are not some whole that we must make sick? that we must also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee as we are going to whom it must be done. And Ligarius says, basically, they just said, Caius is like, dude, what's going on here? Are we about to do what I think I'm going to do? And Brutus is like, dude, we're going to do something really huge, and we're going to have to hurt somebody. And I will tell you who it is as we're going on the way. Caius knows who it is. Set on your foot, and with with a heart new fired, I follow you. To know I not what, but it suffices that Brutus leads me on. Brutus says, follow me then. And they go. So the conspiracy is set. We have 7 people in our, 8 people in our conspiracy now, right? We have our original 6 plus Brutus and now Caius. So let's do it again. Cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie. Cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie. 8 people. Cats, Cassius. Can't, Caius. Chew, Cassius. Let's do this again. Cassius, Cinna, Casca, Caius Ligarius during the movie. D, Decius, the movie, Trebonius, M, movie, Metellus. That's our conspirators. By the way, will you need to know this on like a quiz or a test for me? The answer is absolutely. This is why I'm teaching you how to remember these names. Cats can't chew crispy bacon during the movie. A little weird, but it will work. Have a lovely day, everybody. Excellent. So we have just finished scene 2 of Act 2 of Julius Caesar. I'm sorry, scene 1, pardon me, of Act 2 of Julius Caesar. Tomorrow we will pick up Act 2, scene 2, and that will be Calpurnia begging her husband not to go to work. And you know what? He almost says, you're right, I'll stay home for you, baby. But who comes in at that point and says, and manipulates him to go to work? Decius is going to come and basically question Caesar's manhood and masculinity. And that's going to force him to go to work. And that's going to force him to get killed. And we will see what happens after that. Ladies and gentlemen, great job. Have a great day. Thank you.